Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for June the 17th. We might have a little energy floating around the way that card's behaving right there. So pulling cards for June the 17th, I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy, and then I'm going to be pulling one card for each zodiac sign after that. So our overall energy card comes off the bottom of the deck with the Hanged Man showing up in reverse. Gotta tell you, I liked that hangbound better in reverse than I do right side up. When he's in reverse, this just means that we have had something on our minds that had us feeling sort of paralyzed, like we just really didn't know how to move forward with whatever this was. And if he's right side up, that means we're taking some time to think things over and sort it out and figure out what's the best way to deal with that. Now, when he comes up in reverse like he has for us today, this means that we've already taken that time. That is behind us. But now we've come up with a solution that allows us to move forward with this situation in a way that we can live with, maybe even that we're happy with. Usually see the Hanged Man very much in this deck, as well as a lot of others, as somebody who, he looks like he's dancing a jig. He almost looks like he's got on ballerina slippers. You know, he's doing some fancy footwork across those branches that are now on the bottom. So that's wood, that's a floor. To me, this is somebody who's dancing for joy, just to have found the solution that they're looking for. So to me, the Hanged Man in reverse is actually a happy card. It's about finding a solution that allows us to break free from something that might have had us feeling a little paralyzed before. So let's see how this plays out with the energies of each individual sign for today as well. All right, so starting with Aries. So Aries, what you have showing up is the Sun card. To me, the Sun card talks about being able to do something without anybody breathing down your neck or looking over your shoulder telling you how to do it, setting deadlines, or in any other way, shape, or fashion trying to micromanage you, okay? So you're getting to do something that you really enjoy. You're getting to do it in a way that feels authentic to you. You're getting to do this in a way that feels satisfying, happiness-making. It can even be something that you're doing recreationally, but it doesn't have to be. And with this overall energy being the Hanged Man in reverse, what this is saying is that you may not have known how you were going to get yourself into a position where you could do this. And now you've come up with that solution, and so you're walking forward into this happy productivity, revitalization of self, whatever this activity is, that makes you feel happy and satisfied. So very good card combination for you guys who are Aries. Next up, Taurus. Hierophant showing up in reverse. Now, Hierophant card could also be seen as a Taurus card as well. I also see the Empress as a Taurus card too, though. Hierophant in reverse just means, Taurus, I think there is some type of contract or commitment that either you've already been in, that with this Hanged Man in reverse, you've been trying to figure out, how do I get out of this with the least damage inflicted possible, or there's a contract that was an opportunity for you, a long-term contract or commitment that you were considering getting into. Maybe you had even said you were going to get into, but you're realizing that that's not really something that you want to commit to. And so either way, whether you're coming out of a contract or commitment or whether you are turning down one after consideration, you, with this overall energy, Taurus, what's going on is you've really been giving this a lot of consideration about how to get out of this one way or the other. And so now you're actually, stepping away from whatever that contract or commitment was because you've come up with the solution or the plan about how to do that. Okay, next up, let's look at Gemini. So Geminis, you got the Scorpio card coming up in reverse. This is the Death card, does talk about major transformation. So it is in reverse, which means, Geminis, that there is a major transformation that you are not really wanting to make. Okay, so here's the thing. When this card comes up, this is telling me that there's some type of major transformation that would actually benefit you if you would make the transformation. But there's something going on that's holding you back from making this transformation. I'm guessing you probably see where this transformation would benefit you, but you're not sure how it's going to impact other parts of your life, other parts of your existence. And so because of that unknown, you're kind of digging in your heels and you're not making this transformation because you're afraid of what else is going to happen whenever you do this. Okay? Now, with this being the overall energy, I think you've been thinking about this transformation and thinking about the unknown and making it bigger than it really is and overthinking it and really feeling like, oh my gosh, I really can't make this transformation. I just can't do it. Terrified. Too terrified to do it is what we really honestly have. Now, with the Hanged Man showing up in reverse, I think you've been trying to figure out, how can I justify not making this transformation? And with the Hanged Man in reverse, you've come up with the perfect reason not to make this transformation that would actually be beneficial to you. So, for those of you where your Gemini placements are, you want to be aware, if you're doing this, if you notice that energy where you're making excuses not to make a change, then best advice really is, don't let yourself off the hook like that. Go ahead and make this change and just, peel it off like a Band-Aid. Make this change as fast as possible so you can get through to the other side where everything's not unknown and you get to see all the benefits of this change. All right, that's what I would advise with that card. Now, looking at Cancers. So Cancers, you guys have several different options in front of you about things that you could do that would make your life better overall. And I feel like you're really looking at evaluating all of those options and giving each of them legitimate energy into what it would take to make any of these options actually a possibility for you. Now, with the Hanged Man showing up in reverse, this tells me that previous to this, you may not have been letting yourself look at the other options. You may have only been letting yourself look at one or two options, or maybe you weren't letting yourself look at any options. You were just going to, you could only see how you could keep your life going just exactly the way that it was. And so now that you're looking at all these other options, I think this is where you've kind of broke free from restricting yourself in your own mind and allowing yourself to dream about, okay, well, what could be different that would be better? All right. Now, this card, even with this combination, this card is still not an action card. You're not taking action. You're still sorting through and sifting through those options to figure out, what direction do I want to actually go? Okay? The difference is, before today, you were not allowing yourself to even think about taking any other options than how your life was and keeping it status quo. Okay? So that's for Cancers. Next up, let's look at Leos. So Leos, you guys have the Five of Cups showing up in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse, or excuse me, I don't know why I'm saying in reverse. It's obviously not. I'm seeing these little cups knocked over, and I'm thinking reverse. That's not how it is. That's not the way this card works, Amista. So, Leo, you have the Five of Cups right side up. So Five of Cups right side up basically is talking to me about that you're experiencing some type of disappointment. And it's not exactly my pity card, that's more my Four of Cups, but it's not exactly not either, because you can tell that this person, he's facing the direction of the cups that are tipped over. There's two cups behind him that are still upright, but he's not even looking at them, not even acknowledging them. Okay? So this is basically saying that those emotions of the disappointment are kind of taking over. They're coming across as bigger than the emotions of, yeah, but I still have opportunities over here. I'm not even looking at this. This is a lack of appreciation for the opportunities that are still around you. So where it's not exactly a pity party, it's also sort of taking things for granted and not appreciating that, the whole sky is not falling just because something happened that's disappointing. There are other things going on that are actually good, but we're not seeing that when this card comes up talking about our experience. Okay? So once we hear this type of information, especially if we hear it before we start walking in that energy, then we can sort of head that off at the pass, and we know if we get disappointed, all right, that's okay. What are the opportunities that are still here? Let me not dwell on these spilled chalices. Okay? So, Five of Cups, disappointment, the way the energy sits as I'm reading this right now. This is disappointment to the point of not paying attention to the good that's around you, sort of putting the blinders on, only focusing on the negative. With this Hanged Man coming up in the overall in reverse, this is really telling me that you were waiting. I think you were waiting to find out about something. And I think that you were hoping that what you found out would not be what you actually did find out. I think you were hoping that things would be going better, that somebody would be being more respectful, more loyal. You were hoping that things would be better. Maybe you were hoping for better news from a doctor, but you were hoping for something to be better. And then finding out the real deal has caused some disappointment here. Okay, so that's what I have for, who is that? That's for Leos. Next up, looking at Virgo, we have the Devil card showing up in reverse. So this is interesting. We've got two majors, both in reverse, coming up for you Virgos. Those of you who've been watching me a while, you know reversals are not always bad. For instance, this guy, this is not a bad thing when he comes up in reverse. Devil card actually is also one that I like better when he's in reverse than when he's in right side up. So what I'm thinking here, Virgo, what I'm feeling, I should say, is that you had some kind of toxicity that was in your experience, whether it was an obsession, whether it was a toxic relationship, whether it was some type of addiction type thing. There was something that was causing some toxicity in your experience. Now with the Hanged Man coming up in reverse, I think that you've been aware of this toxicity for a while. You've been working on what can be a solution to help me to deal with this in a more healthy way than I have been, so I don't just cave to the toxicity every time it presents itself to me. This card tells me you've found a solution. You've found some type of plan to not let this be so tempting every time it shows up. Okay, so even if that toxicity is an irrational fear, for some of you I feel like it is, by having this plan, now whenever it shows up again, it doesn't get the best of you like it used to. So we like seeing that for today. This is progress, and it's not easy progress. This is hard-won progress. So we're happy to see something like that. Next up, let's look at Libra. Libras, what's going on here? Ten of Swords showing up in in reverse. Okay, this is complicated, Libras. Of course, you would be the complicated ones. So, Ten of Swords in reverse is my "It Ain't Over, Baby" card. Okay? This can talk about the idea of some type of relationship that was actually a long-term source of tension or debate coming back. Toxic friendship, toxic type of romantic relationship, something like that could be coming back. Now, the other thing that could be not over is some type of situation that was literally a source of tension or debate that you thought you had put to bed and that it was done with, that you wouldn't have to deal with it again. Now the source of tension or debate shows back up again. Okay? For some of you, if there is a person who drives a wedge into a relationship between you and somebody else, for some of you, this is going to be a person like that coming back around again that you thought you weren't going to have to see maybe till Easter or Christmas. And this person showing back up on the scene. Okay. Now, with that Hanged Man in reverse, it's really interesting. It almost comes up to me like that there was some type of source of tension or debate that was put back on the shelf, that you thought you would never have to deal with it again. Problem is, with this Hanged Man in reverse, I think even though it wasn't right in front of you every day, I think it was still bothering you. I think you're the one who actually brings this back. Hanged Man in reverse is trying to figure out a solution to a situation and having found that solution. Hanged Man is in the process of figuring out. Hanged Man in reverse is figuring out, oh, this is how I handle this. Why didn't I think of that before? So I think that there was an unsatisfactory end to a source of tension or debate in your life. And I think that for some of you, now that you have figured out what you want to do about it, you're bringing that back so that it can be resolved once and for all. So it doesn't just pop back up out of the closet anytime it feels like it. But now this is going to be a done deal whenever you take care of it in whatever way it is that you've figured out how to make this finally and completely done deal, done and over with. Okay? So that's for Libra. Scorpio. Look at this. So Scorpios, this is basically telling me that we've been looking for some type of idea that makes us feel excited, happy, motivated, makes us get up in the morning and go, oh, yay, I get to do such and such today. You know, we've been looking for something like that. With the Hanged Man in reverse, we have figured out what that is. We have figured out what it is that's going to wake us up in the morning going, yay, I get to get up and get out of bed and go work on this thing some more. Go participate in this thing some more. Whatever it might be. And it's going to be different for every single one of us with Scorpio placements. But this is nice. This is we have found something that makes our eyes shine. And we're now ready to include that in our lives. We've been looking for something to make our eyes shine, something different. Now we found it. All right, so that's Scorpios. Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, Three of Pentacles showing up. This is an interesting card. So Sagittarius, this just tells me that you've been working on how you can come into collaboration with somebody else to complete some type of project or goal or target. All right. This could talk about the idea of looking for a job, because when we take a job, we're collaborating with the employer. If you're looking for some employees and you hire a new employee, now you're collaborating with that employee. You know, so it could be about a new job situation from either side of the table there. Could also be maybe you wanted to start a band and now you're getting together those people that will comprise that band. It could be a lot of things. But this is working together towards a common purpose or goal. Okay? Now, with the Hanged Man shown up in reverse, this tells me that you have been working on making this collaboration happen. Whether you've been putting thought energy into it, or whether you've actually been putting some kind of energy into it that is more tangible Either way, this is something that has been in the makings. It's not something that just snap, happened one day overnight and fell in your lap. Okay, so some type of collaboration showing up, and probably also working pretty smoothly considering we had the Hanged Man previous to this. Now we've got him in reverse. Now, boop, 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 boop. Who's next? Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn, you guys have the Lovers. This is basically an amplification of what Sagittarius just got. So funny, I was just looking at that Three of Pentacles for Sag and thinking this is actually like the little sister to the Lovers card, having that collaboration. Now the Lovers card talks about partnership, talks about coming into partnership with somebody. Can be a romantic partnership, business partnership, friendship, some type of partnership where when two people are doing things together, what they're creating is better than what they could create, either one of them, as individuals. Okay, so somebody that you're able to make plans and do some work with, you know, make plans and follow up on those plans and make things happen. So we see this partnership that's really working out. And I feel like this partnership is coming into being today. And the reason I feel like it's coming into being today is because of this overall energy. Hanged Man in reverse talks about that you've been thinking about this. You've been working on manifesting this. You've been visualizing this. Maybe you've been reaching out to somebody, or maybe even more than one somebody, about this partnership, and now we see it moving forward. It becomes tangible. So still same as what I had for Sag, this could be, excuse me, an employee or employer relationship from either side of the table on that. This could be maybe you felt like you needed tutoring to make it through your last year of schooling, or through a particularly difficult class, and you find a good tutor. Then that would be a partnership where the benefits are better than what you could do on your own. Okay? So there's a lot of different ways that this can manifest, but this just talks about coming into partnership with somebody to get something accomplished, Capricorns. Interesting. You and Sag almost have the same message. Yours is a little bit more of a more firm type of partnership, whereas Sagittarius may not be quite as long lasting, but still both very productive. Interesting. Let's look at Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius, you got your own card. Huh. All right, so here's what we have going on for Aquarius. With the Star card, this talks about finding reasons to be hopeful about things. All right, so this is not exactly faith. It's not things becoming tangible, but it is where maybe you couldn't have hope about something before, or where you did have hope and those hopes got dashed. Then this is about those hopes coming back to life again, or possibly coming to life for the first time. You're feeling hopeful about something that can be in your experience. Okay? Can be, you could be feeling hopeful about a relationship, about a project, about a business, about a transaction, about a conversation. You're going to know. And this is something that, with that Hanged Man showing up in reverse, I almost get the sense you've sort of been holding your breath, like just waiting to see, how is this going to go? What side of the fence is this going to end up on? How is this actually going to play out? And now there's something going on today that helps you to have hope in this situation again. You're no longer holding your breath to see how it goes. Now you can see how things could really go well for you. Okay? Next up, we're looking at Pisces. Pisces, King of Swords, showing up in reverse. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Pisces, I think that you have either a situation or a person who is strongly enmeshed in your life. In other words, you have entanglements with this person, let's say. All right. Maybe you own properties together. Maybe you have children together. Maybe you're taking the same classes at school. So you have entanglements with this person that can't be just easily unwoven and turned loose. And I think that there's been something going on that involves this person in your life lately, and you've taken the time to really think through this situation and what's really happening here. Because I think you've got more than one version of the story coming at you. There may be what you're witnessing happening and what somebody else is trying to say is happening as they commentate. Or it may be more than one person coming to you with different sides of a story. And I think with this Hanged Man in reverse, I think you're realizing where somebody has been untruthful to you, or maybe they have, in some cases, just withheld information, but did it intentionally so that you would draw certain conclusions. And you're recognizing that that is not, you're recognizing that that's actually happened and that that's not the way you want things to run moving forward. And you're taking care of business. The King of Swords can be the hatchet man. This can be somebody that, you know, where you go into a business and you just cut away anybody that's not pulling their weight. You just give them the pink slip and say, sorry, you have to go. This is that type of energy that I feel like you're embodying today, and I think it's taken you a while to get to the point where you know that that's actually what you need to do, and that's the best thing for you. But I think that today you're very confident because of the information that's come up. I think you're very confident about what you need to do here, and you're taking care of business. You're minimizing contact wherever you can with whoever has not been straight with you. And if you have the chance, I think you're going to eliminate that contact completely. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're entangled or enmeshed somehow with this person. So you can't eliminate it completely, but you know about how far you can trust this person at this point, for sure. And it is changing how you are handling your interactions when it comes to this person moving forward. Okay? So that's what I've got for everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I do appreciate it. Looking forward to serving some of you either on Skype or by phone or in person later on today. And then the rest of you, I'll see back on the next video. Peace out.